Chris Vanderveen's been looking into last night's mess on I-70 in Clear Creek and Jefferson counties. And Chris, I thought that CDOT and CSP were unusually clear today about blaming truck drivers for that. And not all truck drivers, but the ones who choose not to follow the law.
Kyle, you heard that really early on. A few dozen semis, at least 30 according to CDOT, which really didn't have that system with them. Another story you've probably heard before in all this, State Patrol says almost every jam that happened overnight and this morning was due to those semis. This is not to say all semis, as you said. Clearly, most of them follow the rules, but clearly this was a problem once again. It all led to some pretty apocalyptic views from the CDOT cameras this morning. Big hills, slow-moving traffic, and icy or snow-packed roads can absolutely lead to some big problems for the big rigs. This afternoon, jumped on a Zoom call with State Senator Dylan Roberts, who was also tired of this problem. He told me out-of-state drivers, not used to Colorado's wild weather swings, seem to be at fault once again.
It seems to be that no matter how we strengthen the law at the legislature, these truckers who come from out of state are not abiding by state law. They're not carrying chains. They're not putting chains on during inclement weather. And they're causing all these problems that we've been trying to prevent for years.
So there's some legislation swimming about the Capitol once again to try to crack this nut, sponsored by Senator Roberts. It would expand the areas where truckers have to have chains. Also seeks to figure out ways to educate those out-of-state drivers, which is really key because, as Dylan Roberts said, it seems to be a lot of people from out of state coming into the state of Colorado just simply not aware of those rules. That bill's going to hit the Senate floor as soon as next week.
And Chris, of course, the idea with any law is to get people to do what society wants them to do when nobody is watching. The other way to do it is to physically check every vehicle going onto the highway, like chain checkpoints. But that would be enormously intensive for manpower on days when CSP and CDOT are stretched thin anyway.
You can't do it on days where there's snow, but certainly CDOT has been doing that. State Patrol has been doing that. They say they've issued 800 citations just at the check-in points at the state lines over since September. So they've been doing it. But really, there's a lot of truckers that go on the roads, and certainly a lot of truckers have been getting through without those chains.
Really is the question of the day. Chris Vanderveen, appreciate you looking into it.
You bet.